Hello, and in this video, I am just going to be answering some commonly or frequently asked questions about Flareware. Now, obviously you're going to find out more about Flareware in this video if you're watching it without already having Flareware. But if you don't know what Flareware is, this is a standalone software for creating 2D lighting, lens, and optical effects. It's desktop software, so it's not like a website or an online app or one for like your phone. It's proper design software that I'm going to be working on in 2026. It just came out in November, so it was a bit of a weird timing to release a software. Obviously Christmas and all that stuff. I would have made this video a bit sooner, but yeah, I'm going to get straight into it. I pulled these questions from emails and I did a little Instagram story to collect questions. I will leave a little timestamp in the comments if you want to just skip to your question, if your question is here. So to get straight into it, the number one most asked question is, does it export actual PNGs? Meaning, does it export a PNG with a black background or with background not already removed? And the answer is yes. It will export two different types of PNG files, a radiant PNG and a realistic PNG. Obviously those terms are not, there is only one type of PNG file really, but yeah, Flareware can render in two different ways. So radiant mode is better if you would like your flare to glow more. If you're putting a flare slap bang in the middle of a poster or a piece of design work and it's got lots of character and stuff, I would recommend using the radiant mode. It'll stand out loads. Yeah, it'll look really nice, really radiant, hence the name. Whereas realistic mode is for if you're using the flare as a supporting component of your work, as like a lighting effect, if you're doing photo manipulation or like compositing in Photoshop or something like that, then you can use realistic mode, which is a little bit less glowy and fancy and stuff and has more feathering and more transparency through the white values or through the color. Basically, it doesn't matter what you make, it will be compatible with both radiant and realistic as long as it is a lens flare. The reason I say that is because in the future there will be some effects added to Flareware that maybe only work in one mode, realistic or radiant, but right now as it stands, yes, it exports actual PNG files and those are the two types of PNG it will export. Alternatively, you can save a flare you make in Flareware to your flare collection, which is an in-app file browser, and you can later go and re-export with different settings, or if you exported in radiant but you needed it in realistic, if you saved it to collection, you can go collect the other one, you can go save the other one later on. Basically, question 2 is, will Flareware get big updates like Ditherboy? And the answer is yes, it definitely will. I think the first update for Flareware is probably bigger than most of the Ditherboy updates, but I can't say how many updates it will get or how long it will be updated for, just because it depends on feedback and just general like interest in Flareware. But any update that does come out, you'll find out about it on this channel and it won't cost you anything. So anything we add, if you've already got Flareware, anything we add is yours in an update without any extra payment or anything like that. Flareware 1.1 is already in the works. I just kind of alluded to something in Flareware 1.1 a minute ago, but yeah, Flareware 1.1 will be a pretty good update. I'm excited for that one, and in my opinion it's big. I don't really like to overpromise on the updates. If you've been around a while, you'll know that I'm not really going to announce, oh, this update will have X, Y, and Z in it. You'll see me upload a video. When I upload the video, the update will already be there waiting for you to download, and you can find out what's in it either just by updating yourself or by hearing it on the channel or in like a blog post or an email maybe. The good thing is Flareware basically just came out, so if you want something specific in an update, even if you aren't a Flareware user yet, if there's something that would change your mind about Flareware, you can let me know and maybe we'll add it. But yeah, will Flareware get big updates? Yes, it definitely will. Now the next two questions are really quick and easy to answer. Question 3 is, how much is it per month? And question 4 is, how long do I own it for? And these are really easy questions to answer because Flareware is a one-time purchase software, meaning there is no subscription. You don't have to pay yearly. There's no like license fee for using it again next year or whatever. When we update it, you just get the updates for free. There's no cost. You won't be asked to pay for like an upgrade. Yeah, we'll just continue to update it. And whatever whatever you paid for it, whenever you bought it, covers you for all of that. Obviously, the length that we can reasonably work on Flareware for is like undetermined right now. Probably don't have to say this, but the trade-off there in doing it as a one-time purchase thing means that it might not have a 10-year lifespan, but it might have a really good 2-year lifespan, basically. But yeah, question 3, how much is it per month? Nothing. Question 4, how long do I own it for? However long you want to own it for. Lifetime, obviously, depending on, I don't know, maybe I die tomorrow, but lifetime. Question 5 is, what do I use Flareware for? So to be honest, Flareware, like this app, this is the thing, it's something I really wanted to make. It's not something like people were clamoring for, but right now it's 2D lighting effects for photo manipulation. If you're like a merch designer, or if you make album covers, music videos, music visualizers. If you do a lot of compositing in 2D, then you can create lighting effects to use with all your blend modes and all your other tools that you might have. Export that out of Flareware and into your workflow, wherever else that might be, whether it's Photoshop, After Effects, like DaVinci, or any of these other softwares where you can use a PNG. I do intend to do more Flareware tutorials. It's just hard to do Flareware tutorials right now because I know some of the stuff that's going to be in Flareware 1.1, and some of the tutorials I might make now, they might be, well, they probably will be completely redundant in Flareware 1.1. So I'd say that if you are looking for use cases for Flareware, then the amount of use cases will go up after update 1.1. But for now, if you look up outlining, she's called Georgina. I will leave her linked and I might show some of her stuff on screen. She's doing really cool stuff with Flareware. She does quite a lot of photo manipulation and editing. And obviously a big part of that is lighting. There's a designer called Plus Archive Studio on Instagram who has been using Flareware in like poster designs and stuff, and they do quite a lot of like dystopian grungy stuff. My friend who just walked past and interrupted me, Sam Thomas, he's a merch designer and he uses Flareware in his process, like blended in with his merch designs for print. So yeah, what do I use Flareware for? Right now, mainly for photo manipulation or merch or 2D use cases, but use cases will grow over time. And if you have an idea, please let me know. If you have like a specific thing you want to use Flareware for, let me know how we can make that happen. But the next question is, can I use the flares in Photoshop as a brush? Yeah, you can use them in Photoshop as a brush. I'm pretty sure I don't have Photoshop open right now, but I think all you need to do is command or control and click on a layer. And then if you go to edit and define brush, you can start setting up a brush like that. I don't think that a brush is the best way to use the flares in Flareware, to be honest. I think the best way, if you're a Photoshop user, is dragging it in as a PNG asset, just as a layer, and then using blend modes and layer styles like outer glow, or you could add a Gaussian blur and blend the Gaussian blur in and stuff like that. I wouldn't say to use it as a brush. I would just take it in at full quality as a smart object and use it that way. But yeah, if you want to use it as a brush, maybe you know more than I do about brushes, but yeah, you can definitely use it as a brush. That was question 7. So question 8 is, can you create stars that are not symmetrical in Flareware, like one that leans? A leaning one does already exist. I have been asked for some more non-symmetrical controls in a future update by one of my friends. So I will try and lean into that a little bit more if it's possible. But yeah, there is a flare right now. I'll show it on screen where you can use the rotation dial to move one of the like sets of arms out of symmetry with the other. And in terms of non-symmetrical flares, there's an orb flare. There's more than one orb flare. I call them flares, but they're like just 2D lighting effects really. I'll show all the non-symmetrical ones on screen. There are quite a few. Some of them start symmetrical and then you can add in little artifacts like ghosts. They're called little ghost flares and stuff like that. What's important to remember if you're using Flareware is that these are not stars, even though I might say stars referring to the shape, but a actual lens flare on a camera or whatever, wherever you see a flare, if it is a real flare, the flare is not on the object, it's on the lens of the camera. And so most of the time they will be symmetrical. Obviously, creative use case means that you should be able to get a non-symmetrical one if you want. But yeah, for realism, generally they won't be doing weird stuff. Yeah, you can anyway. Even despite what I just said, you can do that. And I will have already shown it on screen. And the last question is Flareware just editing one star to be whatever you want, or does it have lots of stars? How do they work? So Flareware has, I've just opened Flareware to count them. Right now, 23 different starting points you can go from. So that doesn't mean there are only 23 things you can export. There is a flare in Flareware called radial burst that starts as like an orb, but if you edit the controls, you can reduce it down into these just beams of light or a star. So the goal really is not to grow the list of stars or flares that are in Flareware. It is to iterate on those existing ones that are in the app already so that each of them has a greater potential. Basically, in the app, you might notice that when you select a flare, there is a short description of what that flare does, and then there is a version number for that flare. So the version number is not the app's version number, it is the flare's version number. And for example, in Flareware version 1.1, some of the flares are bumped up to version 2 because it's the second iteration of those flares. We've improved those flares. Not all of them get that, but some of them will, and we'll work on them over time to essentially have more controls and be more flexible. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to do more videos like this where I'm just answering questions about the software rather than showing you what I can do with it, because stuff that is obvious to me might not be obvious to you, and I'm working on like communicating these things a bit better going forward. If you've already got Flareware and you're looking forward to the updates and stuff, then thank you for the support. If you're still thinking about Flareware or you're waiting for version 1.1, that's fine, but definitely let me know if there's anything that you're hoping to see get added. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.